Good evening, everybody. It's the Queen of Style, and we are here again, another amazing Wednesday with Kimya Glasgow from St Vincent and the Grenadines. And not only she is a designer, she'll be sharing her story on the eruption of Soufeiere in St. Vincent that happened almost a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So definitely we have a great story for you. We have some great questions for her. And we just want you guys to type your questions so we could give it to her and like we speak about it. But before we get Kimya on, I'm going to talk to my sponsors and thank my sponsors. Definitely, I want to thank Celebrations, Weddings, and Events, Fashion Avenue News, Caribbean, and not forgetting Locofer Cosmetics and Skincare for the amazing job they're doing with my face. And not forgetting Double D Braiding out there as well. And my dress, Nats and Nance, out there in Brooklyn, New York. So guys, thank you. Not forgetting my sunglasses, definitely Bling Couture. Guys, welcome to Style Wednesday. It's 7 p.m. Share the video, tell everybody to join us. And it's me, the Queen of Style, with another episode of what's happening currently in the world, internationally as well. Welcome, Kimya Glasgow, to Style Talk.
Hi.
Hi, Kimya. Thank you for joining us. All the way from St. Vincent, and I am so happy you're here to tell us everything that's happening. So please introduce yourself to the audience and let them know who you are.
Right, my name is Kimya Glasgow. I am a Caribbean designer, Vincentian born, Trinidadian raised, and I reside in St. Vincent and Grenadines for a number of years, probably as long as I've had my business, which is 20 years. We specialize in sustainable fashion. We're a lifestyle brand as well too, and we're always very eco-conscious, eco-friendly. We work with natural fibers primarily, and we have a line of home goods, swimwear, accessories, and I would say about a year now, we have our own fragrance, which makes us really the first fashion brand that has gone hard on having a signature fragrance that smells like the Caribbean and represents our classic modern brand.
Amazing, Kimya. So that's some great things. Tell us a little bit about your designing and where we can find your design and how long have you been designing?
Right. It's so funny. People are trying to call me Justice this lifestyle. Sorry, you were asking me about my design and my design style.
Yes.
Yes. So I get my style is very much influenced by the history of the Caribbean. So my style has a lot of storytelling aspects to it. In the Caribbean, I'm very much influenced by the history, the people who came, the Africans, the Europeans, and of course our indigenous people, where it all started. Our first peoples in St. Vincent, we have the Kalinago, and then we have the Garifuna, which is a whole interesting story because they're a blend of African runaway slaves that were shipwrecked. That's the story, that traditionally they were shipwrecked or they ran away from other islands and they settled in St. Vincent, and they intermarried and intermixed with the Caribs, as they're called, the Kalinago, here in St. Vincent, who were native to St. Vincent. And also, I mean, European, Asian, all of that is thrown into a blender. And I think kind of like a world traveler, I like to work with like contrast and conflict. And sometimes I would mix like burlap with silk because I like to see things that are high and low and hard and soft working together, because in the Caribbean, that's what we are. We're a mix of all sorts of things that somehow just works for us, you know, because you know what that's like. We shouldn't make sense, all these different people coming from all over, but somehow we do. So that's
Absolutely.
how I process my stories.
Great. So Kimya, You told us where you get your inspiration from and how long you have been doing, and congratulations on your fragrance. Amazing job.
Thank
And
you. Thank you.
tell me, do you have a brand ambassador? Do you have somebody that shares your product and go out there and speak about that?
I don't have an official brand ambassador right now. I mean, my clientele really, they are my brand ambassadors. And we have clients and customers who are here in the Caribbean. On St. Vincent, we have clients in the US primarily, and we're looking to conquer the European Union and the UK as well too. So we're broadening our scope. We started off originally as a very locally based brand, and now we're growing it outwards. I'm stocked in a boutique in Martinique currently, as well as in the Grenadines as well. So I don't have a brand ambassador right now. My models speak on the pages and the pictures, but it's a work in progress to find that it girl that represents us. But our clientele is usually a professional woman, somebody who's like extremely busy, doesn't want to be a fashion victim. She loves trends, but she doesn't necessarily go full into a trend. She wants to be able to have a versatile wardrobe that can go from a cocktail party to a garden picnic to a board meeting with just change of shoes, change of accessories. She tends to be somebody that collects jewelry, and likes art jewelry and bling pieces like your shades that are, the sun so on point,
Thank you.
Yeah. So I mean, she likes a classic piece so that she can highlight it. She could dress it up, dress it down, or whatever. So versatile pieces. And I think what we're good at is fit and picking fabrics that last a long time. So these are not throwaway clothes. These are investment pieces.
Absolutely. Thank you. So first and foremost, we want to say, our prayers are with St. Vincent, and they've been our brothers and sisters for so long. And I want you to assure that this is a very scary time with the volcanic eruption of La Soufeiere. So we have seen the pictures, we have seen it in the news, we have seen it on CNN. So how are you coping with this eruption at this current time?
Well, my family and I, we're doing the best that we can, to be honest. It has really almost like time has stopped in St. Vincent, right? The island, because we're a multi-island nation. We're St. Vincent and the smaller islands, they're the Grenadines. But the volcanic activity is happening on the north of the main island. Where I live is in the green zone, which is the most southern half of the island, which is not directly affected by the volcano. However, what we're seeing here in the green zone is just a lesser, lighter version of what's happening in the north, in the red and orange zones, where people had to basically just grab some bags and get out of there like that, So I find it very hard to kind of frame it as somebody in the green zone, because we lost water for a while because the ash fell in our reservoirs, in our rivers, and the quality of the water could not be guaranteed, as well as the ash is so specific that it will clog up the pipes. It's like cement. It's not cement, but it's very much like it, like mortar. So it doesn't do what you would think that sand or dirt or whatever would be washed away. It will really destroy the pipes. So they had to stop water supply. So we didn't even know if we would get back a water supply for a while. We had to have buckets and barrels. And if you were lucky enough to have a tank, you fill your tank. But it was gone for so long that even as we were told to prepare, but even what we had was not sufficient, especially drinking water, because you don't know what the quality of the water is. So it's been a terrifying experience. It started exploding, because it's been erupting since December, but it exploded on Friday, the 9th of April. So we've been living through complete uncertainty
Yes.
since the 9th of April. So the predictions are it could be weeks, it could be months, it could be a year, because the eruption that they compare it to, the most recent one was 1979, but they're not comparing it to that one. They're comparing it to 1908, I think. That's the one they're comparing it to, which had more deaths, more destruction, more loss of property, more loss of livelihood. They're comparing it to that. They say, I've heard it said that it is 3 times as powerful as the eruption in 1979.
Wow. And when I heard about the volcanic eruption, I thought complete destruction, because in the Caribbean how our islands are formed. And we know that there was a number of international cruise lines that came to St. Vincent to get the Vincentians out as quickly as possible. But of a number of people like yourself are still there. I have a friend who had shared with me that in 1979 eruption, she survived. Does this speak, as you said, it doesn't speak to that magnitude. So they're now talking about it from the 1800s, which means it's more severe. Am I correct?
More severe. Yes.
Okay.
Well, you're asking a good question, because most people picture volcanoes like what we see in Hawaii and what you see on TV, which is flowing lava flowing down a hill. Our volcano is ash and gas, poisonous gas, toxic ash. So what you would see is that the ash continues to come down the mountain into the villages and towns that are in the vicinity of the volcano, in the danger zone. And eventually, if it keeps coming, it can bury an entire town, Wow. I was blessed enough to have seen Montserrat after their volcano. I visited Montserrat and I saw their destruction. And what we're seeing is a live play-by-play of that, where it's coming down every so often and ash is coming down every so often, but we don't know when it's going to stop. So it's like, for example, people would hear me talk about the water situation in the islands who've been through a hurricane, for example. People have been affected by a hurricane. They know you lose water, you lose electricity. We did lose electricity because we were having lightning storms over the volcano. Like, you could look above the volcano and you could see like the craziest lightning you've ever seen in your life. It knocked out all the power and luckily we got it back on. But it's more than a hurricane. A hurricane lasts for a couple hours and it goes. You can assess and then you can rebuild, right? This is not that. This is continual. So it's like, if somebody asks me how many explosive eruptions have you guys had, I've lost count. Somebody said it's like 30 something since the 9th. I honestly have no idea, because after a while, it's like you lose track of days, you lose track of time, because every couple days there's like a huge eruption. And just to say, we live so far south, we're almost the furthest point south of the island, and when it explodes, you can look up and see it in the air, because even though it's miles away, you can see it. You can see this on satellites when it explodes, and I mean, honestly, I would tell you, like, I've heard people compare it to an atomic bomb going off.
Wow.
So agriculture, people's crops are covered. Like, I literally spoke to somebody today and they're like, I'm on my farm trying to save my farm right now.
Wow.
Because everything is buried.
So,
and we're
so much damage, a lot of damage on the north side. So totally, like, is you don't think that in the next 2 to 3 months we recover, or you think that's going to take a year plus?
If they've told, because remember, we have evacuees. That area has about 20,000 people. There are no deaths, thank goodness, reported. We have about just over 12,000 people registered and accounted for. Some people may be staying with family or friends who evacuated. Some people have not left. Some people are, there are some people, I'm staying in my home, I'm
Yeah.
not moving.
Yes.
And that's something people culturally have to understand about Vincentians. No matter how rich or poor you are, Vincentians are builders. So even people from very humble means, they will build the best house they can afford to build. We're not into fancy cars like that, more into like having a shelter. So for people, their home is their home. So as much as I may be like, I would never stay in the red zone, I can understand why people would not want to leave. I don't agree with it, but I can completely understand from a heart level why you wouldn't want to leave, because it's what you own, it's your home, it's what you've built. Many people build with their hands, and it's been a crazy time, and a lot of people displaced. I actually teach as well, like I hold like workshops,
Yeah.
trying to like help people improve their professional skills in fashion, or help people who want to become fashion designers do introductory courses with them. And a lot of my students come from the north, and I've been reaching out to them. Some are in shelters, some are in homes, and trying to get water to them, and trying to work out getting air mattresses for them. Because one of them was telling me, a bunch of us, when we heard it was going to happen, we decided we put together and rent a house together in the green zone. They're renting a house together, but 3 of them are sharing a bed because they're not enough beds, they're not enough mattresses.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
So you're out of your home, and they've told them if the volcano stopped erupting today, they would still be out of a home for like 3 months. That's what they were told to prepare for. And even then, we still don't know.
Yes, yes. So, you shared a lot of pictures with me, and I even saw some videos where they had pebbles and stuff falling out on houses, and it was a lot of ash, almost looking like snow. I'm going to share with the audience some of these pictures, because this is definitely something that you want to show with everyone,
It's honestly, it is crazy. And you would see people, when they get a break, they go up to their homes to sweep off the ash off their roofs, because the ash is as fine as talcum powder, but it's as heavy as lead.
Absolutely.
If it gets on like the electrical wires and the phone wires. So that's usually a very green area, that picture that you're looking at there.
And I saw it, and I was like, oh, wow, because this is such, this is like farmland, and you're seeing anything but ash on the ground, and here's another one, guys, so you guys can see. This is
the majority of our food for the island comes from that area. So I'm actually working with a couple of teams out of the States who are trying to get supplies together, and their focus is on recovery as opposed to relief right now, because there's a lot of relief coming in, but people also need to think about, how do you rebuild your life? So they're working on filling a container with things that they can send later on. Look at that house. That's a blue house and a green house, but they're ash covered homes, and the yards are full of ash. It's not livable. It's toxic. The ash actually can cause cancer if you breathe it in, so.
Also heard that when the rain hits the ash, it's almost like cement. So people are losing the roofs of their homes because the cement is so heavy. The ash is so heavy and so hard.
Yeah. When it gets wet. So if it rains and it's just like a little bit of rain, that's not good. A heavy rain might help to wash it off, but a heavy rain might also just be enough to wet it, so it's heavy. So if somebody threw a bag of cement on like your car roof and then threw some water on it, it would cave in the roof of your car because it's that heavy.
And this is a village in the north.
Yes.
And when I saw this, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like a dust bowl.
Yes, this is definitely, you know, something that I couldn't believe that this is happening right now. And
Yeah.
I have never seen anything like that. You know, I have seen Montserrat, and I have seen when in St. Kitts, I've been there when I saw the ash erupting when I was there, and several times I saw that, but I've never seen it in this condition. So I was
Yeah.
definitely wowed.
Yeah. And Montserrat lost like half of the use of about half of their island.
Yeah.
And we have lost basically the use of the top 1/3 of our island, maybe more, because red zone people were required to evacuate, but orange zone people have evacuated. And I've heard stories that a couple of people in the yellow zone, which is the zone that's just above the green zone, is also had to evacuate, because it depends on where you are and how much ash falls in your area. But where the country gets most of its local food from is from the north and from the Central Valley. So, I mean, it's not affecting us as yet in that way. But I mean, we're accustomed to, most people, you have family in the north and your family sends food for you to the south, you know, and that's how a lot of people eat, you know, and or you go to the market and you buy fresh produce. So, and I even found out yesterday the marijuana farmers, because we're getting into medical cannabis. We've just started developing our medical cannabis industry, and all of that is like up in the air. I mean, a lot of the cannabis farmers, there is an actual video of them talking about how much they've lost, because a lot of them were planting up in the northern part where the soil is more fertile and they'll get a really good crop, and they've lost their entire investment.
So guys, you've seen it there. You've seen what the north side of St. Vincent looked like. I am definitely urging us in the North America to support any foundations that we can. You heard it from Kimya, and she's living in St. Vincent right now and going through this. And we are out here, which we have a little bit more than the average. I'm asking you to find and donate so they could actually send some clothing, water, food, anything that you have to share with St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because right now this is a Caribbean crisis and we need help, and we need to help St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I'm urging you, if you need to contact me, you can DM me, you could DM Kimya Glasgow as well, and let us know what we can do and what we can help you with, where to get the products to, so they can reach to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Guys, I showed you guys the pictures. It is not the best moment right now. And, you know, when we are seeing these things, it's definitely a cry for help. And when we say a cry for help, I mean an intense cry for help. You know, I am in the process of cleaning my closet to see what I can do. And from a local perspective, whatever fundraisers we can do, whatever we need to do to get this and get some help to St. Vincent. And I cannot urge you guys monetarily, what gifts, clothing, money, food, water, whatever it is that you can give. I'm asking you desperately that they are in dire need. You know, this is not a story. It's not a game. We saw it on all the news channels around the world. We see some pictures that we just saw, that what's exactly how St. Vincent looks right now. And I cannot urge you guys to scream and get yourselves together and support St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I know in my country, St. Kitts has donated $1 million, and they have sent planes and trailers of food, which I applaud the Prime Minister for. And I am a Kittitian, and I'm out here in the North, and I'm asking all of you, any nationality, to just support right now, because if this happens to any other country, we need to support. And we have more than the average share. These people have lost everything. And when I mean everything, as you heard Kimya said, Some don't have homes. Students are staying in a house, three on one mattress or on a bed. You know, imagine what else is happening, that the stories that she has not told or have not been told to her. And I could only think, we have people out there that are homeless right now. And the shelters are overpopulated, and we need to support. Guys, I cannot stress enough, from the Queen of Style to you guys in the audience. You guys know I'm a founder for giving. I'm a founder for supporting. You know, LaCoiffre will support, and I'm asking you guys to support, because this is a must to do and a need to do, and make this cause what if, and not tomorrow, today, because she's going to tell you where you can go and how you can get and how you can donate, whether it's financially or with clothing or with food. So anything, they need anything. You understand? So I am urging everybody out there right now to support St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You know, when we look at government's assistance, and I know you guys have a lot going in, but enough is not enough. Everybody, like, when I think about enough is not enough, and we need to make sure that when we say we want more, we want more, because everybody has to get a piece or get back on their feet. You heard her. The croplands are not going to be able for food in under 3 to 5 months. You guys saw the pictures. I showed you. They can't plant anything. It's ash. And when rain falls, the ash turns to cement, and the smell can be dangerous and can be death. And so we want to make sure that you guys understand the severity of it and what you guys need to do right now to support St. Vincent. I am begging. You understand? And I am begging for St. Vincent because it's not easy for the islands. If you heard, half of the island is gone, the north side, I'm asking everybody to come out. They're not asking for new things. They're asking, give what you can. $1 makes a difference. $5 make a difference. A pair of shoes make a difference. Clothing make a difference. Canned food and bottled water makes a difference. You understand? It's not what you can give, is the small tokens that they appreciate and could go to a family in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We're not asking for more than what you can give. We're asking to give what you can. And that's all I'm asking you guys. Give what you can. I'm not telling you to break your bank. Give what you can. Please, please support St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because I don't know what to say, Kimya, because at this point, it's like beyond words.
It's something else, you know. The United Nations sent some representatives. They just landed, I think, today or yesterday, and they have more people coming in to assess the damage, because that's the other thing. Because it's an ongoing situation, we maybe have 2 or 3 days between explosive and dangerous eruptions. They cannot even really go into the red zone to assess what the real loss is. Some houses are completely gone. Some houses in the villages have been washed down by the ash flow. So those people, they have nothing to go back to, you know. So we are in a strange situation where we know it's bad, but we don't really know how bad it is, you know. And I just hope that people can find it in their hearts to give. The United Nations has a fund. They're trying to raise funds that way. Our government also has the ability to accept funds through the embassies in the US, in the UK, etc. There are a lot of grassroots organizations that are doing an amazing job. And I have to tell you, I'm so proud of our fashion community, because first out the gate was fashion.
Yes.
First out the gate, you know, a lot of designers independently just went and started collecting goods, raising funds, and getting out there. We had one of our top photographers. He's doing an amazing job because he is from an area that is affected. So he's been doing a lot of work. Our local artists like Skinny Fabulous and Rodney Smalls and Luther, a lot of popular soca artists, they've been doing a great job. So the creative community has really stepped up and used their platform to try and get support. Our film industry, Talga actually, he did a movie called Too Licorice that was so popular and did really well in a lot of film festivals. And he was speaking to Alison Hines out of Barbados, preparing, because Barbados is also affected because they get the ash. They got a lot of ash, you know? So they were letting Barbadians know like how to deal with the ash and just, you know, sharing that partnership, that sisterhood, brotherhood between islands, you know, that, but I mean, I have to tell you, the Caribbean has really stepped up, especially within the OECS, St. Kitts, St. Lucia offered to take evacuees. Trinidad has stepped up with supplies. Even Venezuela, you know, has reached out to help us. Grenada, you know, so we're getting a lot of support that way. But how big and how long this goes on for is anybody's guess. And emotionally, I think people are going to be really in a terrible position, because I can tell you the designers are helping, but I don't know if they've really understood. A lot of your client base is now gone, you know, because a lot of the designers, the local designers, they're emerging brands, and a lot of them are locally based. So who are they going to sell to? Under COVID, people were still having weddings, so maybe you could get those opportunities. It's different, but we had ways of coping. We were making masks, we were finding ways, we were being creative. But then now, what events, you know, what's happening? It's just too, it has really set us back unimaginably. Small businesses are the backbone of every society economically. Our small businesses are our agro-processors, you know, our farmers, the creative sector, you know, it's going to be a tough ride. And I mean, we're trying to stay positive, trying to stay upbeat. I mean, we even have evacuees who are helping to raise funds to help fellow evacuees. We have a lot of the caterers have been like using their kitchens to prepare meals for people in the shelter. There's warm meals initiative, a lot of incentives overseas. So people are coming together, but the problem is big, you know, so we don't know, we just don't know. And that's why I was so happy when Henry reached out to me and you reached out to me and offered me this opportunity to shine a light on what's happening. The Fashion Association, which I'm a part of, we're actually working on an initiative to do some further fundraising to focus on that rebuilding, you know, how people can rebuild. And I think eventually we're going to have to start doing fashion product that is specifically geared towards, you know, we'll give the profits to the fund and things like that. So we're working on things, we're trying to be creative about it, because after a while, people get numb to a situation, you know, so we want to make sure that we're still in the top of people's minds to solve this situation. I wouldn't want this to happen to anybody. It's really, I mean, right now, you might not be able to see me, but we have louver doors and it's actually cardboard that's blocking up the louver doors because the ash will come in. We have drop claws on all of our furniture. So we are very fortunate to live where we live. And when we got water back, I praised God like you would not believe, to be able to have a shower. And there are other people, when I went to visit one of my students at her shelter, at that time, they had no water, no running water, 106 people in a shelter with no running water, you know, it's crazy, you know. But our water authority stepped up and found a way to get them water. But for a while, for a week and a half, no water, nothing. Yeah.
My fashion community, my friends out there in the Caribbean market, my friends out there in the international market, I am coming to you to ask you for your help for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And as you heard it, I can't continue to stress enough that we need to help. Okay, we need to help. So Kimya has a website. It's www.kimya, kimyaglasgow.com. You could go on there, and she has links where you guys can drop off items in the US and where you could donate to a fund. If you need to reach out to me as well, because we are going to be doing some stuff for St. Vincent in conjunction with Kimya. So definitely we want your support. And whatever you can give, I'm just asking you guys, because this is a very serious situation. Everybody is in need, and it's not enough. We need more. We need help. We have to have continuous help until St. Vincent and the Grenadines is in a good place. And not only is Kimya a top designer in St. Vincent, she is one of the best designers in St. Vincent. So we have, you know, what we would say, we have a celebrity designer here tonight talking to you and saying, reaching out to ask for your help. All right. Yes, she'll be on Looking for a Style the Runway next year. She'll be on the show for sure. But right now, we want you to help her raise funds, raise items, product, food, groceries, whatever it is that you can give. Give what you can. It will help. It will help someone. And that's all I'm asking you. Please help St. Vincent. Kimya, I don't want to let the Volcano take over your spotlight as well in terms of what you have done in the fashion community. So let's back it up and talk a little bit about some of your designs and where you have shown your collection within the world.
Right. So I've done a lot of shows within the Caribbean, including St. Kitts.
Yes.
Can't forget that. A couple of times actually. I've done, let's move up, Trinidad Fashion Week, Tobago Fashion Week. I've shown in Grenada, Barbados Fashion Week, Martinique. I did a showing, a private, a solo show in Martinique, which was really amazing, well received, and was able to build on the brand a lot in Martinique and St. Kitts, maybe Antigua a long time ago, British Virgin Islands. So I've shown all around the Caribbean, Dominicana Moda in the Dominican Republic, which was like, you know, and to have people compare my looks to Oscar de la Renta in Dominican Republic was like, stop it.
You're bad. You know. You're bad like that. That's what we do.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. They could say it, I'm not gonna say it because I still want to, you know, we're working on all of our back end stuff to make sure that we could hit hard, you know. Yeah. I did one of my greatest experiences was Miami Fashion Week. You know, I got a standing ovation in Miami Fashion Week. So that was great. You know, and we've just been working on the brand. Like, I think my focus is right now to really work on the back end because I'm shifting now to e-commerce. I started even before COVID hit, but now with the Volcano, it's an even more pressing thing, and trying to really work through the Fashion Association to get designers to understand that we have to have diverse options in terms of producing product, you know, because I had a friend one time, she was outsourcing her production and a typhoon blew through the factory with her collection and wiped out her entire collection. Yeah. So, but she was able to pick it up because she had production elsewhere. And that taught me like a major lesson, like crisis, natural disasters, they will happen anywhere and everywhere. So you always kind of have to be ready. So I very much produce locally, but I also have options beyond the shores of St. Vincent in the Caribbean, of course, because I mean, I'm a Caribbean girl to my heart and I want to see the money stay within our economies.
Yes, absolutely. Right? Absolutely. Great.
And
yes.
Support local artisans and collaborate with local artisans in terms of accessories and things like that. And yeah, just build out the brand. The fragrance line has been growing. We are about to launch in Trinidad at a really amazing retailer, but I can't say who it is right now, but we're getting there. And we're there are a couple other islands. We're in the Grenadines. We're stocked in the Grenadines, and we're stocked in stores here on mainland St Vincent. So we're doing a lot to build out the brand. And for me, it's really important to just keep working with natural fibers a lot, recycle fibers, you know, because we really don't want to contribute to the decimation of our earth. Tomorrow's Earth Day, and I mean, it feels really good to know that I have a brand that, you know, really tries to respect the earth as much as possible, you know, in terms of even the factories that I work with, they have to be sustainable. They have to have good conditions for their workers and, you know, opportunities for them to grow and things like that. You know, those things are very important to me, especially as a woman, a female entrepreneur, because I want to see women grow. And fashion has been an abuser of how should I say, women's goodwill in terms of being hated sometimes. And I feel like, you know, we as designers can do so much to improve that situation. So I'm working on that, building it out bit by bit. And right now, we're actually reissuing some of the styles that are on our website. And because I do very classic pieces, it's not like they're gonna just like go out like that and you're gonna be stuck with this thing in your wardrobe. So there's a very popular shirt dress that we have called the Victoria shirt dress. So we're offering it on pre-sale for summer.
Okay.
That's our spring into summer, 10% off. And once you subscribe to the website, you get your coupon code and you can get that. And so for my customers, we're shipping out at the beginning of June. So you'll have your beautiful linen dress ready for summer, ready for when you can get outside and enjoy life a little bit more than we've all been, you know? And it will make me happy to see somebody, you know, out enjoying things. I thought we would be doing that here, but I guess not so much. But, you know, I could live vicariously through somebody else's joy, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So tell us, what do we expect from you to see you based on the fashion industry? What should we expect to see from you coming soon? I know you told us you're going to be doing some collabs in Trinidad and you have the pre-orders. What can we expect, like say in 8 months?
Right. So I'm working on a collection right now. That's a collaborative collection. It's a capsule collection that I'm collaborating with some Martinican designers. So the sketches are done. We're working on the patterns. We're sourcing fabric right now. It's going to be interesting because we're working together collaboratively on it. So it's going to be under my label. So we have our own labels, but we're working on it together, and that should be out also for summer. So we're gonna have a bigger offering for people, and I'm pretty excited about this one because I know what it's gonna look like already. It's not just in my brain. So we're actually in the middle of the whole process, and yeah, it's gonna be good.
I'm very excited. I can't wait to see your collection, and just tell the people where to find you on the social media platforms and your website so they can know how to reach you, not only for your designs, but how can they donate and what they can do.
Right. So to look for my brand on Facebook and on Instagram, it's at Kimya Glasgow Inc. INC. And my website is kimyaglasgow.com. Very easy to find me. And in terms of the donations, there are a couple options, like I was telling you, government, UN, also the Rotary Club. I recommend the Rotary Club highly because I see the way they work. They're business people, they're on the ground, they react well. And they also have a payment gateway because that's the challenge in terms of sending money to St. Vincent, availability of payment gateway. So I know for sure that they have a payment gateway, and a lot of the grassroots groups have GoFundMe and things like that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to send you all the links to all the people that I know are out there doing stuff. And I'm also gonna post it on my website as well too. And people can DM me, they can email me through the website, and I can answer any questions. I can give them some guidance on how best to help, you know, what they would like to help. Because I mean, the other day there was a call for like asthma inhalers, you know, rescue inhalers, things like that, especially because of the ash, you know. So there, people can help, as you said it perfectly, help in the way that you can help.
Yes.
Because an asthmatic is only going to think about asthma people. People who don't suffer from asthma, that might just not. You know, if you're into fashion, you might be able to help with clothes, because people are going to need clothes, especially cotton things, easy things, t-shirts, leggings, things like that, you know, because when you're in a shelter, maybe the thing that you slept in might be the thing that you have to wear all day. So it has to be something that's comfortable, you know. So anything along those lines could be helpful. So just like you said, help however you can help, any little bit. And there are lots of groups in New York as well too who are collecting. I saw that Mayor de Blasio is trying to help as well too, with some of the groups that are, you know, getting supplies together and maybe getting them to us a little bit faster, because that's, you know, sometimes it's also timing as well, you know. So
Amazing. Thank you so much, Kimya, for joining us this evening and sharing your story not only on the eruption but also on your design. And we're gonna have you back where we could just talk about you and show some of your designs, because they're amazing. So that's gonna come up once we get settled with the, you know, donations and everything is like a little bit more calm in St. Vincent. But guys, Le Coiffeur will be setting up a drive as well. So look out for the information coming soon on where to drop the items and where we're gonna take them and what to do. So that will be coming soon from our end. And what else you want to tell the people, Kevin, before we wrap it up?
I would just say, send us light, love, prayers. St. Vincent means a lot to me. It's where my parents are from. My dad was born in Trinidad, but he grew up in Georgetown, which is one of the towns that is in the shadow of the volcano and so affected. This is an emotional appeal to everybody. We're bent, maybe we're not broken, but we need support. We need support. And Vincentians help when other people are in need. We jump in there and we help. So I hope that karma will help us now when we are in our hour of need as well. So on behalf of my people, I'm just appealing to everybody to, you know, reach out and see how you can help, because you never know. Everybody has resources that maybe they don't even realize that they can help to get the word out that we need help.
Yes. So guys, I just shared some of the videos again so you guys can see how the northern part of the island of St. Vincent look like. I'm asking you, I am begging you, I'm saying to you, donate whatever you can. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is in need. And whatever you can, I'm not asking for too much. If you could only support with a can of juice, then you give a can of juice. If you could only pay with a pair of sneakers that you have in your closet for 2 years, then that's what you give. I'm asking, anything is acceptable. Make sure we support each other in this crisis in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Kimya, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Amy.
And we will talk. Thank you for joining Style Talk, and have a good
Thank you so much. You're an angel.
Thank you. You're welcome. Guys, there you have it from Kimya Glasgow in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, a designer. And you guys saw the photos. You guys see what's going on. You heard it from her yourself, what she needs and how can we support St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we need to support. Whatever you have, support and support and support. Let's make sure people are homeless. We haven't had any deaths in St. Vincent, but people are homeless, people in shelters, people in dire need have lost everything. So I am coming to you as the Queen of Style saying, give a little, share a little, love a little. And that's the episode of Style Talk on St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Until next week, Wednesday, I'm going to say have a fashionable week and stay safe. Thank you.